Hi, Monte Silva here. Today I'm going to be taking a walk and talking about shift happens. Whether it's COVID or whatever situation, things come up that require change, and change is not always fun, but it's necessary. And so today I'm going to take a look at what we need to do to prepare our minds and also physically prepare for changes in how we run our business. So hope you join me on the journey and let's go for a walk. So, shift happens. Sounds kind of funny. It's not really a fun situation, though. In fact, most of us don't really like change. Although it is very important to realize that change is necessary. And so, we're going to talk a little bit about the mindset of just changing your mindset. And I'm reminded of a story. It's a business book, but it sounds like it's a kid's book. It's Who Moved My Cheese? And it's a book about a fictitious mouse that's in a mouse trap or a mouse maze, and a little mini person that's in the mouse maze. And they would go each day to get their food, and would go each day to the same place to get their cheese. Well, one day somebody moved the cheese, and it became very difficult for both of them. However, the way they responded was quite different. The mouse immediately began to look for the cheese in a new location, while the little mini human just complained and bitched the whole time, and made excuses and demanded that someone bring the cheese back. So mindset is very important as part of the process for dealing with change and shifting. And during COVID, at the beginning of COVID, my position was eliminated, and so I no longer had a job, and I could sit there and complain like the little person did in the book, or I could do something about it. And what I chose to do instead, knowing that the market for a level of manager that I was at was probably not going to be happening during COVID, I did a shift and I started my own company. And I began to coach restaurateurs on this very thing, on how to shift through COVID, and not only survive COVID, but also thrive. And it's a choice that I made, and I'm really happy I did. I have a new son at home, and it's made all the difference in the world. And had COVID not happen, had me not have to make that shift, then I'd be at work 50 hours a week away from my son. So when I'm talking about making a shift, I'm not necessarily talking about a huge altering like I did, of shifting out of being a restaurant executive to having my own business, but even just subtle shifts are important, and your destination can still be the same. It's kind of like if you're sailing, you might have destination you want to get across the lake, but you're going to have to, as the winds change, you're going to have to tack and go back and forth and make some adjustments. Ultimately, the goal is still to get where you want to go, but sometimes you have to make some quick changes. And the quicker you are to be able to adapt to that, the better off and more likely that you're going to be successful. So once you get your mindset right, then it's time to put a plan in place to get where you need to go, and to be able to shift through the changes that are taking place. With COVID, how do you provide hospitality while wearing a mask? How do you keep people safe? How do you give the impression to the public that you care and that you're concerned about their well-being? How do you show compassion and concern and care for your team? So those are things that need to be put in place, and that's what I do as a restaurant coach. And if you'd like to reach out to me for a free complimentary call to discuss how you might shift through this time and not only survive COVID but thrive, feel free to give me an email. My email address is #restaurateur@gmail.com, and set up a free 1-hour consultation and see if I can help you through this time. Well, that's a few thoughts about shifting and change. And if you like this, please like it, subscribe, share it, tell people about it, comment. I'd love to hear your comments on what you think and how you might be making that shift as well through this crazy time. All right, until the next trail, see you soon.